They did not. Coming up next, we're going to pull up that schedule. We do have Denial versus Enigma6. We had a little travel snafu, so we switched things up for the end of today, but still an exciting match.
Yeah, Slasher was like so scared to play Pat that he just decided to miss like 5 flights yesterday and get their match rescheduled to next week. But no, that'll definitely be a special one. But we got a special one coming up as well. E6, my favorite up-and-coming player, Kismet. Guy's an absolute unit on the map.
He's a top 3 player at the PLQ for sure.
100%.
Yeah, the best S&D KD with a 1.7.
Yeah, he was on top of the damage leaderboard every day.
And E6 itself, 9-1 on hardpoint record during the PLQ, so very strong there.
Yeah, you know, they acquire Frosty. That guy's a weathered veteran in another FPS where he was reigning championships, dominating, and known as one of the calmest players in the game, never gets excited. That could be a huge benefit though. Like from my personal experience, when I have a guy on my team who's just always focused, it just gets me going. Like this guy's always ready to go. I gotta be on my A game as well.
I don't know, it's kind of weird watching him pop like, grab slam 2 pieces and get to 3 pieces in round 11. His whole team's trying to hype him up.
Yeah.
And he's just sitting there like stone faced, like what? This is what we do.
But what about Denial study?
Over on Denial, you know, we got Whalers, we got Natshay, we got Zeke, we got Risk, we got Breezy, we got them all. You know, these are the team. They used to be Overtime, switched over to Denial. Great representation, but, you know, just over the players, we got Risk. He led his entire team with a 1.19 KD at the PLQ. Whalers, you know, he's just going to be doing his thing with the ICR, holding down his AR positions. And, you know, Natshay, Zeke, running around with the Sogs, just doing work. Hopefully this team, you know, they didn't really have that hard of a bracket to like make it here. They played Facecam Black and Mind Freak. They ended up winning both of those series to qualify, and I'm hoping that they're able to show us why they deserve to be here.
Well, I mean, that Mind Freak series, you know, it told us a lot about this Denial roster, right? Like, I'm pretty sure they were down 2-0 in the series. They ended up coming back and winning that, where, you know, a lot of people counted them out. They thought Mind Freak was going to be able to make it in, especially after the start Mind Freak had at the PLQ, you know, 4-0. Everybody was like, yeah, there's no way this Overtime team beats them. And they rose to the occasion. It was the very last match we had, I believe, as well. So all eyes were on them. And you know, people were definitely like rooting for Mind Freak in that match, and they just shut them down. They won that series, and you know, they earned their spot here. So I'm very excited to see these guys, see the improvements they made, because you know, they were one of the most, you know, underwhelming teams from the PLQ that made it in. So they definitely had a lot to work on. We'll see if they're able to, you know, show it here in this E6 match.
Yeah, and certainly, I mean, Division A had a lot of surprises, so I'm sure Division B will not disappoint in terms of what we have coming up. But we did just finish our first match. Heretics taking down E United 3-2 to get their first win here at Pro League. We did see a certain someone take a little stroll into the abyss. But coming up, we have Denial Esports versus Enigma6.
The Call of Duty World League is presented by PlayStation 4, the official platform of the CWL. Astro Gaming, the official headset and mix-amp of the CWL. And Republic of Gamers, the official monitor of the CWL.
Game Fuel. Level up the game.
Welcome back to our final match of the evening. Division B is underway. Now, we did have kind of a last-minute swap, obviously. There's some travel issues coming in 400 Thieves. It was them versus Envy. Yeah, Envy had issues as well. So some last-minute changes between kind of our Monday matches this week and Monday next week, which sets us up for Enigma6 taking on Denial. I had a chance, Joe, to talk to General and Cinder, the coach of Enigma6, for a little bit on a hot mic, and they seem prepped, locked and loaded for this match.
I bet you they're prepped for frequency.
Yeah, we're going to be there for a while.
You're going to be prepped for frequency as well.
Yes, yes.
No, but I think when you look at these two teams, I think these two teams, you can kind of say how tough is this division going to be. When you look at Division A from top to bottom, there's a lot of veterans, a lot of teams who have been around for a while. You had these two teams, a team like Heritage, and you say, all right, is this division going to be tough? It depends on them, how they play against one another, how they play against the teams like United, like Splice, and we just saw how good Heretics can be. So we'll get to see really a preview of where they're at.
Well, we talk, about Dark Horse, a team that's going to make a run. You can say maybe it was someone like a Midnight or a Gen G that had a better performance than maybe you expected. Do you think one of these teams has the capability to, I don't know, maybe come out of nowhere and be somehow top 3 in a division?
I think if I had to pick one, when you look at this, it's got to be E6 to me. Just the way they looked at the Pro League qualifier, they got top 2 in their group. On the other side of the stage, it was a team who fought all the way through the bracket. Last match.
So did Gen G.
That's true. But we just don't know too much about tonight.
I know it's not a fair comparison, but I'm just excited to see who's going to shock, who's going to surprise, who's going to make a run and start to pull off those upsets. Already, Heretics, I think we were all pretty hyped to see them perform. We have big expectations for them, but I think you still chalk that up as one match, one upset already on the board.
Absolutely. You could sort of compare it to, maybe United, they haven't played on LAN for a while, right? Maybe they just gotta take the dust off.
Certainly.
Just get it all together. They'll get better as the week progresses. But I think what we saw from Heretics at the Pro League qualifier, we knew, especially sort of in respawns, that they could play with the best teams in the world. Their gun skill on par.
And I think that's been a big thing. That's been a question mark or something we've targeted for European teams for a long time. Do they have the gun skill to keep up with top North American teams? And I don't think that's actually the concern at all with Heretics. We've seen that. Just will they have the teamwork? Will they improve as the meta progresses throughout the course of the year and hang with the big guns? Really excited to see what they'll be able to do. But let's focus right into Denial. Enigma6 is Frosty making an impact immediately.
One of the guys that we wanted to keep our eyes on at the Pro League qualifier and now here at the Pro League, making that transfer over from Halo and already making an impact, finding the first 3 kills. And he's staying alive. Trying to do what he can, but here comes Denial trying to break on in. Zeet and Whalers, and then when we watched them, because we casted the last match, it was against Mindfreak where they went all the way to a game 5, but I remember in those respawns, it was, I believe it was Zeet and Risk who just had ridiculous sort of individual talent at times, really took over the maps.
No points on the board yet for Denial. Not a lot of points really through the first hard point at all for either team. It's just 19 come through for Enigma6, but we'll now focus the control of the orange base. Denial set up first. Enigma6 now looking for the entries. Breezy doing a good job there, just locking down that top mid window as he makes that transition across. Difficult for E6. So far, so good from Denial.
Kismet trying to get on in, has some help, but Whalers is there. General and Frosty, now it's their turn, but with those close spawns, you're going to be able to reinforce just a little bit quicker. Now Breezy trying to get pushed up, but his teammates are going down behind him. Here comes the break attempt out of Enigma6, but he gets cut down once again. Zeet and Whalers there to help him, but it was a great job by Breezy to stay alive.
And now the race across the map. He'll be the player we'll watch that'll try and influence the spawns for the upcoming hardpoint. 10 seconds remaining on orange, and he's trying to get the deep push into blue. Nobody yet set up for Enigma6. Cade's found some kills in the middle, but yeah, they spawn in the back, and this might be a perfect rotation and setup for Denial if they can find a couple of kills, but E6 up to the task. You do see that number 7 spawns in the back. Kismet will be up and safe.
He's gonna have a big gunfight here. He's got some help. Kismet's another guy. We saw he was a 1.78 at the S&P.
Oh, he was a monster.
He was an absolute monster. And when you talk about Enigma6, when you sort of look across this roster, who are going to be those top players? For a long time, Enigma6, it was always General. Who's going to be able to help out General? Now you look at guys like Kismet, guys like Frosty, if they can help him out, that's when we start to talk about them being a dark horse.
Not a lot of points separating these teams early. Diabolic, though, 375 off streaks and not much he can do as two players of Denial come soaring at him and he will drop. It's a nice start for Whalers, who's at 11-4. He's got 4 kills in a row. We'll see if he can keep up this pace. But it's a nice hard point for Denial as they will hold on to a bit of a lead here. It's really, they do a solid job kind of between both bases, considering it was a 20-0 start for Enigma6.
Right, Kismet able to find a couple. You can see those orange arrows where they're spawning out so far away because Enigma6 is on both sides. You see General, that number 10 where Paradox has highlighted. He's on the other side of the map, and then you have one player all the way inside that blue base, which is just forcing Denial so far out. You can see their pushes are just being staggered. This is a perfect hold so far for Enigma6. A great job on this 4th hardpoint.
Diabolic trying to deal with the incoming pressure. Maybe that'll be the opening that Denial need to now get in. E6 gets backed up, and finally a bit of breathing room for Denial as they get set up in pipes. 20 seconds left. This will end our first set of rotations. And I don't know, anything stand out major from either squad for you?
Natche struggling for the side of Denial. Besides that, they're right in this game. And on the other side, Kismet already with 26 engagements, playing at a very fast speed with that SOG. We'll have to keep our eyes on him. But really, I mean, the difference maker was just that hold at pipes. It was pretty back and forth for both teams. And Kismet trying to work his way in, but Natche gonna find him, but it's Diabolic and Frosty, and Diabolic able to find a couple of kills. You can see he has fast mags on, and while the melee comes through, and E6 with a great break.
Frosty, a chance for streaks here in the grab spike, ready to go. Just jiggle peeking for any kind of info, but unfortunately he peeks directly into the Annihilator of Whalers. Here comes Denial. Can't hit the shot up close and personal, not necessarily where you want the Annihilator. And as he falls, E6 holds, and their lead really starting to build here. The Annihilator now out for Kismet as he connects on the second shot. 220 to go. No one's been able to earn streaks in this. Will he be able to get them? Very, very close. He's one more kill. Nice shot. There's the lightning. Wraps back up and snaps, and there's full streaks in for Kismet. You just mentioned he was 13-13 what seemed 30 seconds ago. Now up to 21-14.
Yeah, now you have E6 out to an 80-point lead. It was just so back and forth on that first rotation, but these last 2 hills have gone the way of Enigma6. Now they don't have this, or they have this spawns. Prezi able to find a couple of kills. Grab Slam on one side, Grab Slam on the other. He's able to find the Tempest as well. So Frosty has the help of Kismet, and now they have full control once again.
It's actually wild to see the difference in some of the, like, look, Kismet has what, 38 right now? Frosty has 20. Like, just the engagement, take a look at the kills death, just how wildly different those are.
I mean, Kismet's almost at 40. And yeah. Everyone else is around mid-20s.
He's pushing the tempo. He's pushing the tempo, that's for sure.
Yeah, he's playing at a ridiculous pace.
Big lead for E6. Denial gonna do what they can to try and claw back into this. E6 set up for blue base. Drone squad now in. We already have streaks for Kismet and Frosty. Another chance to pick some up to add more to the arsenal of Enigma6.
I mean, this was, again, we keep bringing up how close of a game this was early on, and Denial had control of the spawns, and then since that point,
the past couple minutes,
pipes, the last 3 hills have just been all Enigma6. Denial has gotten 20 hardpoint seconds in the last 3 or 4 hills, so that is just where that lead. We always talk about how some good teams, it just takes 1 rotation of hills. They'll play a team close, and then they just wake up, and it just feels like that second rotation they take on over. That's exactly what's happening.
And I know E6 was excited to get back on land for hardpoint. They took some flack over that 250-2 loss. You saw the video from General. They know what they can do on land. And
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
You didn't bring that up again.
Yeah. But they got smoked, and there was a lot of talk about their online results versus land results. Well, they're back on land, and they are cruising in this game 1.
Kismet gets some help from General with that Tempest. But Denial trying to fight their way back into it, but you know Kismet's going to call in that lightning strike. Yep, here it comes. His player's just holding the inner side of the pipes. Cade finds one as he runs right into his sights. That's going to be a free kill, and now you need 30 more seconds. Breezy trying to help out Zeke, but he's the last one alive. He's doing all right, but E6 so close to closing this game 1 out.
A chance to 100-point club here. It's have to hold Denial from getting 3 more points on the board. Looks like they're going to get him, though, as they do pick up Cade. There it is, over the 100-point mark, but still a lot of work to do. But God, if there was any question mark if Kismet could continue on from his performance at the PLQ, it may have been answered very quickly. I know it's one map, but he is destroying.
It's also another PLQ team. I think really the big question is can he do it against United? Can he do it against Splice? Can he do it against Heritage?
But you think he's got a chance to be one of the top performers in this division?
I think so, right, absolutely. Just based on what we saw at the Pro League qualifier.
But it's one map, yeah.
It's one map, and it's another Pro League qualifier team.
I'm setting up the story early, Joe.
I want to see how he performs against some of the better teams in the division.
That's true.
Or who we perceive to be one of the better teams in the division.
Yeah, who the hell knows? It's like Division A. Who the hell knows? 5 more points needed for E6. Hellstorm in. Doesn't even connect because Frosty's cutting them down in map 1. A convincing victory for Enigma6. Back on land and dominating in their first hard point.
Yeah, you see them getting hyped up, and really that's what we saw out of Heretics, right? Just the energy that they're bringing to the stage. A lot of these newer teams, this is what they've been fighting for years, right? Just to get back up there, be in this Pro League, and you can tell them, just some of the veterans that come in here, they get a little bit caught off guard. They're just sort of used to this environment where other teams, a team like Enigma6, they can get you with that energy and bring it to the stage, and we see that in map 1.
Okay, well, just to reflect a little bit on Twitter here at some of the responses that we got. The question was, what are some of your hottest takes for Division B? Using the hashtag CWLPS4, I want to see what some of you had to say. From John. 100T will be the most improved team. Priesta was a great pickup, and Crowder as coach is huge. Yeah, I agree with both of those.
You think that's a hot take?
Nah, obvious take, maybe. And the next one from COD is Life. Splice finishing 7-0, Donnie MVP. Hey, that's very possible too.
I don't know if that's the hottest take.
Heretics tops division. That's a hot take.
There we go.
That's
TJ.
a hot take. Thank you, TJ.
I think it's possible. I mean, they've already taken down the top seed in the division.
One step done.
Or sorry, yeah, the top seed in the division, United.
Yeah.
So I mean, if they can beat Splice, I mean, after that, who knows? They could beat everybody. I'm not sure the rest of their schedule for the week, but they could be a very hot week for the Heretics.
One step done, but many to go. Well, same can be said for this series. Enigma6 get map 1 on the board, but we'll take a look at the end of the hard point as we get ready for the search and destroy. In general, all smiles. You gotta love to see that. He had some great answers on Hot Mic. Kind of talk about the team, where they stand. Cinder was breaking it down as a coach, and they seem to be feeling just very good about where the squad was mentally with their performances and scrims leading up. I can just tell just by talking to them, they're ready to go.
Yeah, we're gonna take a look here at the end of the hard point. I mean, at the end of the first rotation, Denial Esports had 60 hard point points, right? So after that, they got 40 across 4 hills.
Kismet, just the numbers look so funny.
He's at 52.
It's comical compared to everyone else. He has more kills than everyone by like 10. He has more deaths than everyone else on his team. Like, he was flying. And when you have someone playing at that pace and they're winning those gunfights, which obviously is by the stat line,
well, that's
sort
of the problem. So basically what it comes down to when you're playing at that pace, we talk a lot about staggered pushes, right? What happens is if you have someone playing at that pace and he's losing his first gunfight, that is when you
could live or die by it, kind of.
That's when you have the 4 versus 5s. Why are they split pushing so much? Well, it's because Kismet, could be a little bit too quick from time to time. So we'll have to keep our eye on that. But I guess on a map like Frequency, you're going to get a lot of engagements. Right?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. One of our smaller maps in the rotation. We talk a lot about, how that favors sometimes teams with strong slaying power. And, there, Kismet, what a performance in map 1. We'll have to see what they can put up in the search and destroy as we'll stay on Frequency. I don't know if we'll get out of Frequency.
Yeah, you think?
Well, actually, that was actually. That just made me think of when overtime actually got in. Well, Denial now. It was all Frequency against my Freak. Remember, it was map 1, 2, and 3. Mindfreak died on, I remember I said some line like, they get buried on frequency.
It was game 5 though, right?
No. Was it?
Yeah, we went all the way to a game 5.
Did we really?
Yeah.
Weren't there 3 frequencies in that, or did I just make that up? Was it just map 5 was 3?
No, I think there was, but I think
there was the control where they blew.
Control.
I thought it was a 303 frequencies. I must have made that up. It's been a
we
while.
went to a game 5.
Okay. That's right. I think there was
we went to this.
I think there was like a couple frequencies though. It all blurs together, Joe.
I know it does.
I need an assistant that just hands me information. Anytime I want to talk.
Name's JP.
JP, I need you to sit here next to me. A little chair. He's got like an iPad.
He's got like a notepad. He's like, read this. I mean, I could have also just let you go with that story, and we could have just talked about it.
Yeah.
But I
like it was true. No, I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Your job is to keep me in check. If you have one job as my co-commentator, my duo, my love, my friend, it is to make sure that nothing too stupid comes out of my mouth. Thank you, Joe.
You are welcome.
It's a hard job. It's a hard job.
It's hard to do. But I do my best.
Thank you, Joe. Frequency search up next. Who are your players to watch as we head into the search?
It's got to be Kismet. I mean, it's just what we talked about. He had a 1.78. I mean, I'm laughing because what a ridiculous question it was. Like, he was our player to watch.
Good point. Here we go. Map 2 underway. Frosty. Is that Koshka laser sight out?
Oh.
All right. Okay. Feel like I'm watching you on blackout right now.
So we don't have thermals.
You would hit the shot too, right?
Yeah. Koshka's mostly canceled.
4v3 for Enigma6. Breezy playing elbow, just looking for whatever information he can gain. The sole player there for now. Waiting for his teammates to rotate. Wins the one-on-one. Frosty can't get there in time for the trades. He's pushing towards mid-map. 3v3 scenario now with 45 seconds on the clock. Denial just looking for any kind of opening towards a bomb site. Frosty just waiting bottom ladder. Spots Breezy. I don't think Breezy saw him.
Did Frosty see him? Yeah, okay, so there we go. General and Kate able to find that kill. Now you have 30 seconds, and you got to plant the bomb if you're Denial. Frosty right now just playing for information. Nice shots on the Zeke. That's bomb carrier down as well. This round should be over as Whalers, he's got 12 seconds, has an ICR in his hand.
Yeah, I mean, that's why
he's got a plant, and Kate in general just going to run away.
Yeah, that's why I think Frosty didn't really mind challenging that gunfight, because even if he loses it, still so much for Whalers to do, just not enough time to win the round. Cade just has to play his life across the map, and E6 get the first round on the board.
Whalers, if he had just 10 more seconds, maybe he turns this round into something. Was able to win that second gunfight on the general as well. That's one of the things when you play a slow default on offense. That clock is against you.
See if Denial can answer back now on defense. 2 come flying down. Diabolic at least able to get the trade, but it will put them at a man disadvantage now. E6 down 3 versus 4. Frosty trying to stay alive. He's got Diabolic to work with. They're trying to push up. Oh, Trophy there, so not much gonna get done. Now the sniper comes through as well. Paladin from Breezy whiffs the shot, but his teammate's there to clean it up, and that'll put us all square.
I just remember at the Pro League qualifier, like when we were watching like the last day on Sunday, the one thing about Denial is they would just not go away in series, right? They just, I don't remember how many game 5s they went to, but they extended series every single time. I don't think there was a time they got 3-0, or if it was like in the first round. And then after that, they just pushed series to the limit. So we'll see if they do that here.
3-0 start for Whalers. This time it's not a slow build-up on offense. They are going in behind a stun, trying to get into elevator and information towards A. General and Cade set up. Looking over the site. That's now been, what, 2 stuns in, cluster in as well.
They got in the site. That's all they needed. They had to find Cade. That was a beautiful cluster. General had to back on up. Couldn't help him. Bomb being planted. Man advantage. Can Frosty hit a shot? Has his Kashi out. Kismet able to find one. Diabolic as well as they work through the middle of the map. Diabolic with a second. Breezy. Natche still alive. 2 versus 3. Bomb has to be defused, but Natche has to check the defuse. It's not there, and a great retake out of E6.
Fantastic stuff. Despite the fact that they go down 4 on 5, they had to try and.
They have a 4 on 5, and they have a guy with a sniper, right? Like, that's always tough. But Diabolic and Kismet win their 1v1s with those SOGs. That's a difference maker.
Is this something with the post-plant setup that you didn't like from Denial?
Fights, right? Like, there's nothing more you can ask for. That bomb's down. You have a guy at the elbow. You have your players in elevator just watching over it. It's one lane.
Just can't get smoked in the elevator. I mean, this is one of those spots on the map where it's been hard point search. Like, there have been players we've watched have been much better at finessing, winning gunfights here. It's just chaotic. You hit the slide.
Diabolic got through the middle as well with nobody watching it. So I don't know if he got timing on Natche right there. But that first kill on the Whalers was just free. Nobody was watching that top middle door.
So yeah, maybe a bad timing or
miscommunication.
Yeah. 2-1 now to E6. They'll get back to offense. Breezy was able to hit a snipe last time around.
Actually, that spot is, it's always dangerous because your legs can stick up.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Is Kismet
I see your size 12s. Natche, I see your feet. Yep, later legs. Rips them off. Kismet gets the opening 5v4, and they've got site control.
That's not the first time we've seen that. I mean, I get it. I love that spot because it's a little pocket. The defense probably isn't going to check it. They expect the balcony. The problem is you got to set up for it. Berbrezzi with a nice shot. Nice. 2-piece out of Breezy. He's able to find a couple with the Paladin. But we get all excited, and then Kid and Diabolic find a couple of kills, but there's a third.
Get all 5. Just get them all. Oh, God, I want him to do this so bad. There's only 20 seconds. Yeah, he's feeling himself. There, wait for the help to come in. Nice shots from Breezy, but not going to get it done as E6 stringed together a couple of rounds. Yeah, I think you nailed it, right? I don't think you saw him on the first peek, but the second, just his feet sticking out.
Nice flish there. A couple of nice shots. You thought they were getting into it.
If he held it for the fourth cut for just another second, he might have been able to hit it, but still, there's a whole other player to deal with. He was in a bad spot, but still, some nice sniping. E6 talk things over as they're now starting to feel comfortable in this, and behind that big round victory, Diabolic is pushed out to 7-2 and got a set of streaks to work with. He is carrying the slaying load for his team. He's accounting for basically as many kills as the rest of his team combined right now. He's got a very early War Machine, which he's going to pull out here. Back on up the offense of Denial. Well, he gets a little overzealous. They have a trophy in the back, and he gets punished, Joe.
I heard that go down. I don't know how he didn't, but, I mean, Whalers just backed on up. Had the ICR, was like, all right, go ahead and shoot your War Machine at me. And now you have the rotation. Zeke getting some good timing, but Mike gets some bad timing. Cade trying to find a kill. Gonna force a 2 versus 2. Natche and Whalers. Cade and Kismet, but Natche's got the stun. He's gonna stun both of them as well. Good job to stay alive, wait for your teammate. Great teamwork out of Denial.
Fantastic job there. It got scary early as they got backed up by the War Machine, but that's just an example of teams starting to deal with specialist weapons better and better. We saw that throughout, I don't know if that's the best example, but we saw it throughout Division A. Teams getting better at dealing with it, whether it's through Flak, a well-placed trophy. They bait him in. I think he's feeling himself. He's 7-2. He's got full streaks. And wants to at least pick up a kill with it. Gets punished.
And they may not, I mean, in a round 5, expect him to have a War Machine, right? Like, that is a very early War Machine. But really, with the stock win meta, players have Flash Jacket on more often than not, and Flash Jacket right now is in a very strong position.
Takes your whole clip of grenades.
Yeah, it is. It's really strong. But into this round, and it's all controlled by E6. Breezy trying to find a kill. And Enigma6 on their offenses have just been perfect.
anything that Denial can do, mix up maybe to try and deal with the offensive
It
pushes.
just feels like the numbers go down so quick on Denial, right? It's like every time Enigma6 gets a kill on offense, it comes in pairs.
I feel like Cade's been the most vocal we've seen kind of in the comms between these rounds. You got a 4-2 advantage and still so many streaks. Cade's almost got that TAC 5. You're building towards Annihilator and Tempest as well. Kismet, I thought he got away. He thought he got around the wall, but gets caught. Nice opening kill from Breezy.
Well, Diabolic's just gonna gain some information, and you can see the blue arrow is on the top side of the map, just gonna rotate on over. That's gonna be Cade. But there's a rotation on a Denial. You do have one player in the elevator, that's Risk. The rest are going towards B.
And really, it's just on Frosty to spot this, let them know when they're pushing up, and maybe see if you can pick up anything.
Cade has already rotated back, so he has his help. Cade's just been a rotator, just back and forth, and he's gonna get some bad timing. Yeah, well, Frosty, luckily the TAC 5's in. Cade's like, all right, I'm on my way back. I mean, the guy's done like 4 routes in the back of his spawn. And now they're towards A.
Picks up one with the Lightning, 4v3. Risk, though, evens the odds quickly. But not a lot of time to work with, and Cade rips him off a bomb. Whalers last up. Whalers will drop. 5th round on the board for Enigma6. And that's just, I mean, your Denial trying to look for an opening. You know they have those streaks, and it's not
They
easy.
did a great job rotating the bombs back and forth. You tell Enigma6 was very confused. Cade, I'm telling you, did about 5 laps in his spawn. Just rotating back, then it's back to elbow, finds a couple of kills.
Was it Denial just trying to bait out one of those streaks and catch him with a bad time when they call it in and they hit the rotate?
I think they were just trying to force a rotation, which they were doing.
This wasn't enough. Now one more round needed for E6. It's still a hellstorm to work with. Zeke, though, first blood. Back and forth we go. 3v3 now. Diabolic still up, though, with those streaks. Annihilator out from Whalers. Nothing available from a specialist standpoint.
That's a shot.
One now left. It's Diabolic. Oh, there's a little bit of a snap. Well, you use the drone squad, you don't get anything. That's a big one for Denial, that's for sure.
Sometimes you just need a little bit of luck on your side. You hit that hipfire strike. Just ask Fellow when he hits one down a whole street.
Yeah, that was the silliest shot I've seen on the year. Stunned. Hand over
whatever.
What was that movie where they were like bending bullets and stuff?
Wanted?
Is that what it was? Wanted? With James McAvoy and...
Yeah.
Yeah. That
Angelina Jolie. Yeah.
Yeah, that movie's crazy.
Yeah, that's what.
That's the starring Fellow. Breezy, can he set up this grab slam? Diabolic just has the Hellstorm now. Cluster as well to use in a desperate situation. They back him up. Breezy just wants to go for it. He just flies in, gets General off the map, gets top window control. The Hellstorm will come in, but there's nothing there. It may slow down the push for a moment, but isn't going to connect. At the same time, Risk finds a kill. Now 5v3 is Denial starting to make a run. Starting to make a run. 1 round advantage now for E6.
Now, the good thing for Enigma6, I do not believe they've invested in many specialist use.
They've used all the streaks, but yeah, specialists, I think you still have Annihilator, Tempest, unless we missed one where they got smoked as soon as they popped it.
I don't think so. It's really been Diabolic who's gotten so many kills where he got all his stuff so fast. We've just been watching him. So they've been saving a lot of their resources for these later rounds.
Well, really, it's just one bad usage, though, and suddenly you're looking at a round 11.
But the last 2 rounds, Annihilator out of Whalers, Grav Slam opens up, out of Breezy, finds the kill. That's really the round difference.
So yeah, you have Kismet's right on top of his Annihilator, and General does have the Tempest to use.
So yeah, that's, I mean, Zeke's getting close to War Machine, but he's having a slow game, and TAC 5 boost. Tempest out of Risk, but 2 of your bigger ones already gone on the side of Denial. I really want to see him hit a shot.
Crazy, like Zeke's might not even get his War Machine, and you had one in round 5 earlier from Diabolic.
very slow round from Enigma6, and Denial is just not peeking, just not giving them any information. Here we go, 45 seconds left. Diablo is starting to work his way on up. There's the first gunfight. Nice trade out of Risk, though, make it a 4 versus 4. Frosty still trying to find a shot. Here comes the rotation out of Breezy. Can he find a snipe? He's been so good with this Paladin. He's going to peek the bomb planter, but Kismet says hello with the Annihilator, able to find a kill, and now Denial have to retake without their
Nice shot. Nice shot. 3 picked up, 1 now remaining. Kismet goes for it. The trade is in, and E6, they hold on despite a furious comeback late in that game too from Denial. E6 now up 2-0, and for the most part getting it done comfortably.
Yeah, I mean, they were out to a 5-2 lead, and then a couple of rounds in a row to Denial was just due to specialists.
Yeah. We'll see. Yeah, you talked about Denial. They stayed in a lot of series of the PLQ. They pushed them the distance. Can they do it here? We'll be right back.
The Call of Duty World League is brought to you by Mountain Dew Amp Game Fuel, the official beverage of the CWL. Scuff Gaming, the official controller of the CWL. And TCL, America's fastest growing TV brand.
are back. Enigma6 up 2-0. Dominating Denial right now. We'll see if Denial can get something going. We're going to take a look at the final round. This will be the scuff play of the game as E6 close out the search and destroy. Some great plays on the E6 side.
Yeah, and this one, it's a 4 versus 4, and Breezy with that Paladin is like, I'm going to peek this corner, and says hello to Kismet's Annihilator. Kismet, some nice shots on this round. Gets a little cocky here towards the end and says, you know what, I'm going for it.
And E6, I mean, you had what? Kismet kind of took over the game one. There, early at least. The reason they got that big lead is Diabolic has a monster performance. Now, it's definitely been a team effort, a balanced effort for the most part, but there's definitely been some big individual performances being kind of, I guess, the backbone of these wins.
That's what you're going to need all Pro League. We just saw it, you know, in the last series with Gasly, Lucky, and Journey stepping up for the side of Heretics.
A big win in game one, and I think even the game two. I mean, the score looks a little bit closer than maybe that particular map was. Just due to the specialist usage that you talked about. Usage. I have no. What word is that? Making up languages. So we get ready for control. We may start on frequency. We may not leave frequency. It might all end on frequency.
And I mean, there's the other teams in the Pro League watching this series. You know, if they play Enigma6 or Denial tomorrow, if you're playing E6, maybe you're thinking, we're not going to play them on frequency. And maybe if you're playing Denial, you try to force it just based off some of the weaknesses that they've showed so far. Denial make a push towards this B site, though. They don't get a tick. I thought E6 was going to allow him to get one, but Diabolic flies on in. So no tick for Denial. 5 lives traded on both sides. Cade trying to stay alive. Frosty watching over him. And the trades are just going down back and forth.
Maybe a bit of an opening here unless Kismet can take on 3 players. Not able to do it as Wrist finds 2. So there's the first tick. Something in for Denial. We know how difficult this map at times. Well, I mean, I guess in spots it would be really difficult for the offense or defense, depending on the opening push.
Well, I just think it's tough for the offense if they get map control.
Yeah.
Right? Like sort of get you in the spawn. And once again, just right before. Okay, there we go. Whalers is just like, all right, I'm gonna finish this kill, and that might be it for point B. So you'd see the rest of Enigma6 starting towards this A side. Yeah, Frosty inside. And this is where it gets scary because you see these 3 blue arrows starting to get pushed up. Now it's a 3 versus 3 in the spawn. Whalers is actually going to rotate on back. I like this play to help his teammate out. Nat Shea goes to the Enigma6 spawn.
This is the only map that basically has both points kind of mid-map, like equidistant for the defense and offense, right? Because Gridlock, Semi's a lot close to the defense. Church on Seaside a lot closer. Payload, the statue a bit closer for the defense. Like, this is the one that's probably the most balanced, right? At least under your control spots.
Payload?
Payload. Arsenal. Sorry, Arsenal. But, like, for the most part,
I would say maybe the only... yeah, Arsenal now, because both of them are really towards that defensive side.
Yeah. 9-9 now. The defense ready and waiting. Denial desperately need a big break here. First player goes in. Parisiu's going to get caught. Diabolic now helping 3-6 from mid-map. He catches a stun to the face, but manages to stay up. Only 5 lives now remaining for Denial as they're starting to get picked apart. Still doable, but with Kismet flanking, it looks like Risk is ready for this. He's waiting for it in the back. They actually win a couple of gunfights, so that flank actually ends up being a couple one-on-ones that just go the way of Denial, and suddenly they're back in this.
I thought Breezy was about to fly on top, but now 4 versus 6. Trying to get in before those reinforcements come. Frosty with 1 kill. He did his job. General trying to just stay alive, but all the kills go the way of Denial. Breezy finds 3. Risk finds 2 as well. It's a 1 versus 3, just like that for Frosty.
What a play from Denial. And now Frosty's got to do it all. He's got to try and get in. Second tick through. 1v3. First gunfight not going to go his way. Risk and Denial go huge in that first round. What was the biggest deficit? Was it 9-5?
Yeah.
And like at one point it felt like I guess E6 felt like they could had enough time, send somebody on the flank. I believe it was Kisman went through the flank and one player tried to push up through mid-map. Both those players dropped, and as they dropped, Denial just hits the site before the reinforcements come in, and I guess I just feel like, I don't know, if you just play that a little bit safer, just kind of hold the site on defense, you probably get that win. If you can just trade and don't force any one-on-ones. I mean, if Kisman wins the gunfight in the back, then suddenly you have a pinch and it falls apart, but I guess I just don't know if it was necessary in a 9v5.
And now you have Risk as well, 150 off a streak, so if he has a good start.
He got 4 of those last 9 kills, I think.
Then we know how dangerous streaks can be on this map.
Risk 50, make it 25 points away from those streaks. Denial trying to bring it back in the series. Let's get to an Astro Gaming listening with Denial.
J'ai 23 de mes 16. Tapine. Oh, je personne. Deux top window, ah, qui passe balcon. Oh là là, il m'a vu quoi. 3, ils sont stun. Un T, bleu. Là, ils sont encore Excel. 2, Excel, un T bleu. Là, c'est dans les mid-points. Il est côté seul. Il revient un T. Ouais. Il est maintenant. Il a une balle. Chill. 3 fois. Je suis mort. Un T. Absolute, j'ai une encore. Fais gaffe. Ils sont tous là. Attends, j'arrive, me close, attends. Go B, les gars. Il fait la rotate, vite, ouais, j'ai le mid. Rotate. Double mort. Nice. Il y a top bleu sur moi, ça. Putain, approche le micro, mon frérot. Après, ça me bait. J'ai un kill de moi, tempête. Ok. J'ai pointe. Inquiétez pas. Ouais, viens quoi. Dépassez. J'ai XT. 2 ou 3. Descends bas.
Joe, I didn't understand any of that listening. It did sound great. They're down 2 lives, though, unfortunately.
Oh, boy.
But they do enjoy a 1-round advantage due to the huge comeback down the stretch of that first round.
Tire 5 boost used by Enigma6. Breezy does have the grab slam, able to find a couple. Can he find the third? No, but does weaken up General for Risk to trade that one through. Now an 11 versus 12, but look at Diabolic. Already inside of blue, trying to find some spawn kills. You have one player on Denial, that's Breezy. He can kind of get caught right now. He can put his team in a tough position, and he will. Because E6 is probably just going to bully him in spawn. I mean, you have a minute left. Why not just waste some lives? Try to get them low. Natche, though, does back up to help him, but it doesn't matter. Kismet's here. Natche is just going to have to run away, and they'll just continue to spawn kill him. They're trying to hunt Natche down as well. And now that's 3 dead, and they're going to collapse on the point. And now General is just, well,
you got to get that one at least. Like, maybe you get traded out, but
the big thing is his Whaler stayed up. He was able to find a kill.
Similar situation with regards to live count. 8v5 for Enigma6. Does Denial have another rabbit in the hat? A trade which still favors Enigma6. 2 players now left for Denial.
Oh, Whalers put out the Annihilator.
Oh my God, they're going for it. Well, you gotta hit your shots if you're gonna go for it. There's one more down, 1v4. 2 more shots in the clip.
No, we want that one back.
When did he call it in? I didn't see exactly when it got popped. Like, did he call it when it was the 5v8? Like, he didn't call that was 2v6 or whatever, did he?
I don't know. I hope not.
Well, that's what I'm wondering. He had to have called it when it was like, yeah, the 5v8, and they were making that last push. It's just when we hopped to him, when I noticed it, I was like, whoa. But it would have been awesome if you made the play.
Yeah, we always want to see like a 1v5.
Yeah. It's gonna be a Tempest that chains or an Annihilator that makes you.
I don't need it to be this Tempest.
Well,
it might be an Annihilator.
Yeah. Who was it that? Wasn't it?
It was someone from Heritage,
what's it?
Right? It was.
No, I think it was. Was it Tohor that did it?
Tohor.
Back in Vegas.
Vegas, yeah.
Some sort of 1v something.
Oh, we might see 3 Frosty with the grab slam.
Oh, that's one way to open things up.
Hello.
Yep. And that'll get them right in to apply pressure early from defense. You've got Diabolic push all the way up their elbow.
Nice bait and switch, though, out of Denial. So at least clean him up. And
nice job, Kismet. Once again, it's Kismet leading the way from an engagement standpoint, but now the Tempest comes in. Can't hit the next shot, but you also go ahead and use War Machine. So they've put in what Grav Slam, Tempest, War Machine, everything coming out from E6 to get this round on the board. But you've used a lot. It's just a 4-life advantage, and there's still 40 seconds to work with.
You still have Annihilator on Kismet. That could be the big game changer, right? You don't have too much on the side of Denial. War Machine and Tempest, they're big weapons.
But you've got to win this round if you're E6.
Yeah, and they're down 8 lives, 24 seconds left as well. They need a good push, but it's just been so hard for them right from the break. Right when Frosty got those 3 kills with that Grav Slam, Enigma6 has just been in their face.
You had Kismet in their top balcony, and Diabolic all the way pushed up to their back elbow. I mean,
they're just so staggered. Finally, you get one of the points that'll stop the time, but General's here. And if he just finds 1 kill, his job's done. Whaler's trying to win a 1 versus 1, but he goes down. That's just an individual play that they're trying to hopefully work it out, but that should do it. I don't even know if they're going to get to this point.
One last push, they slide in, a team kill comes in, and they pick up a kill. General, the last line of defense, will have to back up, so things a chance to get interesting here. And it looks like E6 are just going to go ahead and opt to rotate. Kismet's set up in the base, so if they find a kill, the spawn kill could certainly be on. But now we sort of have the sides on the map flip as Denial pushed through the E6 spawn.
Just in one push.
K gets overwhelmed.
Now they're going to try and turn around and spawn kill, but Frosty just backs on up. Does he have bad timing? Nope, he wins it. Kismet wins another one. Now just 4 lives remaining.
1 player left. Once again, Whalers, and he drops an E6 despite, I mean, this should have been a 3-0. Should have been a 3-0.
Yeah, just that round 1. Yeah, you can hear the guys on E6 sort of talking to specialists. They know they used Annihilator. They'll have Grav Slam available. I think that's it on the side of Denial.
And then what, Annihilator for E6?
Yep.
You take the odds, but this first push certainly important for the offensive end.
So you have War Machine and almost Grav Slam out of Breezy.
And then Annihilator's likely all you're going to see. At least if it's in the 4th round. E6 directly into B if they find a pair of kills. First tick already in. Nice cluster out from Diabolic towards bottom ladder. Kismet gets the information. 2 here. Wisely backs up. The help comes in from Diabolic. And now they're set up and waiting. It's Denial pushing into the grinder.
Kismet's been very patient with the Annihilator, not only in this control, but even in the S&D, right? Like, he had it round number 10. That was the difference maker in that last round in Surge. And right now, we're in round 4, and he hasn't used it once. So he's been very patient with it so far. Where usually, you'll see round 2 it used, just like we saw Whaler use it, so they get it another time to try to make the play. Breezy with the Grav Slam. That's his 2nd time through, able to find 1. You have a couple kill advantage right now for Denial.
E6 want to try and open things up on the other side of the map. They already have 2 points at B. Trying to find some luck at A, but there is the War Machine. 3 are going to fall, and this is an opening to push up. You have Whalers on one side. He drops, still inside of your lobby is Breezy. Zeke set up in balcony. Frosty trying to figure out what to do for E6 as he's top middle, but there's still pressure at his base. Frosty won a one-on-one, but so did Zeke. 6 life advantage now for Denial. This is looking like a round 5. But now that advantage with the Annihilator, I mean, we might be back to close to even, depending on how round 5 goes.
If Whalers gets a couple of kills at the end of this round, you will see it in round 5. General does find him, takes him down, so that's good for Enigma6, but risking actually able to find kills. But you will absolutely have the specialist advantage in round 5 for Enigma6. But they're close to getting a couple of more. And you can see 6, they just...
I think they're just getting off. Like they don't want them to catch up, right? It was
the first time we've seen that.
And how many jumped off? 4?
4 or 5?
Yeah. They want to take that slim advantage they have behind the Annihilator. Depending on how this round 5 goes, I mean, you might have a lot coming up for Denial, right?
I know, because they use Grab Slam. I think they use.
I feel like they had several at like 80% or so, but maybe. Oh, we'll see.
Well, they used 2 that round. They use War Machine. They use Grab Slam. But E6 definitely has 4 to 5 coming up. But that was interesting. That's the first time we've seen that.
Oh, that many, yeah.
All cloistered off the map. They're out. Yeah, so attack 5 and then everybody.
Well, I was thinking, yeah, Annihilator and Tempest, you should.
Maybe if we get there, but they might just take this advantage and run with it if they use one of these specialists early on. Frosty trying to stay alive, but that's already 3 dead. Luckily, Diabolic's able to bring it back one. That's a good cluster in, but that won't find a kill.
I thought for sure he was going to pick up 1, but nothing.
This might be our early first zone for Denial, and that's when it gets scary for Enigma6 because it just takes 1 push. And yeah, specialists are great and all, but if they only need 1, you'll waste it. And Kismet, he's going to use the Annihilator. That's A used. And he might just take it down. He got to take it down.
Oh, things falling apart for E6, and now you got streaks available for Natche. General's got multiple tagged up. He might not even get there, though, because the drone squad's in. That's going to back him up. Can't hit the shot. Nothing from the Annihilator. Nothing from the Tempest. Streaks available from Natche, and a 3-life advantage now for Denial. You said they don't like to go away.
And Whalers now has Annihilator. Like, you know, you have Risk with the Tempest, plus still the streaks, so. Yeah, wow, this has changed very fast, just off that first push. 4 do go down. Zeke trying to stay alive top middle. Can he find a kill or 2?
So it's going to be a War Machine on one side, Annihilator, Tempest on the other. This would be insane if you win this. If you're
did they get 2?
You got nothing behind your Tempest or Annihilator. And there's 2 on the other end of things for Denial. You only need 1 opening, and that might be it unless Kismet can make the play. He finds a couple. First tick almost there.
I don't know if they're gonna need a tick. Now the contest is there. Big play by Kismet.
And he's by himself, really, and finds 2.
Risk has to be pretty close, though. Whalers finds a couple of kills. How close is Risk to streaks? Yeah, I was gonna say, his Tempest was very effective. You just saw a couple of kills go down from Whalers. Now he has a lightning strike. You have Breezy top middle. Now Annihilator out as well. I mean, this is all in for Denial. General trying to stay alive, bait out some shots. He's gonna get taken care of. No, he finds a big kill on the Whalers.
Second tick in. Second tick in. Kismet gets a kill but falls off the map. E6 has got to go. They've got to go. War Machine out. They got to get there in time. Not going to happen. Natche ready at the edge. And there it is. Denial take the game 3 and extend this best of 5. In what likely should have been a 3-0 map count, 3-0 series count for E6. That round 1.
I mean, Enigma6 just packed that one up and threw it in a dumpster. Like, they just threw that one away. That was, I mean, they set up round 5 for that. We saw at the end of round 4, they're like, we're just gonna jump off. We know we have the specialist advantage.
And then they knock 2 with the Tempest. It leads to nothing because the drone squad comes in to put shots in the General. The Annihilator gets absolutely nothing.
Yeah, I mean, the reason it's always so tough because when you're a guy like Kismet or, you know, who has the Annihilator, you want that sort of perfect timing to use the Annihilator. And it doesn't work out. You try to wait for that moment. It doesn't happen. And now on the other side, you have Whalers who, they weren't the most effective Annihilators, but he got to use it twice.
Well, I think part of it, though, I mean, the rounds where he could have used it early, like they win rounds 2 and 3, right? So he didn't need to use it early. They won it without it. So he does have the chance to save it for later, but then when you use it and get nothing, we'll take a look at just the closing moments of this game. Despite the blunders, E6 had a chance. But then streaks available on multiple players from Denial. The Lightning keeps backing them up, and that one break you need, they get it. And then E6 just can't get back in.
You had Natche pushed up. I mean, just being annoying with this saw, right? He wins this gunfight right here, and then Diabolic's like, oh, what am I supposed to do?
Well, that's the last thing you want if there's a War Machine, is someone right in your face, because even if you shoot that, you're dying too.
So a great comeback out of Denial keeps this one alive. But we didn't see it towards the end. But Risk, we saw his Tempest connect with a couple, and then we went off his point of view. He actually chained 2 more on the side of Enigma6 in the zone. So that's why I figured he was close to streaks, and he ended up getting that lightning as well.
So what's this like for E6 that, you know you should have closed it out? The series should be done if you're E6.
I mean, that's tough, right? Like, mentally, that's sort of, well, Frosty's still smiling. He's, we outplayed him, we're good, going into game 4.
Yeah, we have to play another map,
yeah right. I guess that's one way to look at it.
He seems like a happy-go-lucky kid. Excited to see what he's going to be able to do.
But we're switching it up.
Seaside! I don't know why I said it like that.
Strong side.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking when I said
yeah.
that. Like, are we going to go back and watch Remember the Titans?
Remember the Titans, yeah.
What a great movie that is.
We just won't sleep. Yeah. We'll just be so motivated.
Well, you have to favor Enigma6 in this, based on how the map 1 went and how they've looked in hardpoint in general through kind of the Pro League qualifier and now just the brief tenure here. But things change a little bit when you throw away a map like that. It eats away at you.
Yeah, and again, like Denial at the Pro League qualifier, they won a lot of messy games. They stayed alive in the series. So them going to a Seaside hardpoint.
So it wouldn't shock you if they somehow won this series at all, would it?
No.
Yeah.
And I do remember a couple of times in their series they did play Seaside. I don't remember the results, but I remember Seaside being in their series. So maybe we even get to their hardpoint map pick and changes things a lot.
The early moments of this game, you got to think huge. For Denial, you're coming off that big win. Just try to come out and keep the momentum going. And for E6, try to bounce back after a brutal map 3 loss. If we've learned anything this year for Seaside, it is usually wacky and wild. Outcomes never known till the final moments.
That's like you, wacky and wild.
Yeah, I've been called that a lot. Insane. Crazy. Let's go, Joe! Yes! I love a good map 4, buddy. Woohoo!
And Denial with a great start as they find a couple of kills. General, the last one up. That's all 5 dead for Enigma6. And it's the start you wanted if you're Denial.
Nice opening break, and now how much time can they pick up outside of this? Now, the guy that took over the game map 1, Kismet, without question. On the side of E6, can somebody step up from Denial and have that type of impact in this game 4? Denial break through, but nobody in the hard point yet. Now they'll transition back to get whatever time they can. Rotating over to second early. Looks to be Zeke to set up, and Kismet really the only player in a position to have an impact, but he's surrounded by 4 players from Denial, and as he drops, the next wave will be, I think, from Church. You've got 1 and 4.
But are they going to expect Frosty? Frosty's already inside barrels. He's setting up a pinch. He spawned out. Are they going to expect Frosty to be here? Because Breezy spawned across the map. I think Frosty's found a very good timing, but that's bad timing as those players just crisscross slide. But Diabolic able to get in. And just as I say that, everybody dies on the side of E6.
This is just a messy open.
And look what Denial's setting up. You already have number 7 Zeke all the way on the other side of the map. At 30 seconds, he's setting up for third hill. They know exactly what they wanted to do. They got them spawning towards the back. They're watching the first hill rotation. A great start for Denial.
And you'd be happy if you were contesting this time and able to set up early, but they were able to get a lot of time there. Really just the final 10 seconds may go to Enigma6.
Yeah, I'd say Breezy's going to spawn out, though. So you have a 4 versus 5.
Well, 4v4, because you have 1 player from E6 in the hard point.
He'll leave. Yeah, I'd say he's going to leave. But Kismet, he gets taken
He might get caught, though. If Breezy can get there in time, he might get in right behind Diabolic.
Well, Kismet
That's exactly what happens.
And Kismet, I think he just went a little bit too quick. And that's what we talked about, right, in map 1, how the pace he's playing at.
It can be incredible or it can hurt you.
Yeah. So now you have an Enigma6 trying to work the back, but, well, Zeke and Whalers with Maddox just going to lock that down. In Denial, yeah, I think this is their map pick. They look much more comfortable here so far.
Well, I mean, it was pretty close in the opening of map 1 too, until E6 kind of, well, to be fair, it was about tie game around 80-80, right? When they really picked it up. But E6 got to be through these first.
They're lucky the lead's not bigger.
Yeah, 2-3 hard points. They've got 30 points on the board. This is.
They do get inside of barrels. Chance for them to get back inside.
They need something. They need something, right?
There's something. And now they have the setup they want. You can see where Denial spawning. They're holding both sides. This is very similar to Frequency, that fourth hard point, which we talked about. When you're controlling both sides, you spawn the other team on the opposite side of the map. And it creates some very weird pushes where you're going to have to try to pinch, and that's what they're setting up. That's Natshay going all the way around, but he gets caught. Can his team clutch on up? Breezy and Zeet able to get the kills. Good job by Denial. Big break.
Halfway through the hard point, they get in. So no big run from E6 to get right back into it. If anything, that lead Denial had going in, they'll maintain that. Diabolic, the last man here from E6. We'll see if he can contest a chunk of that time. The one-on-one on the other side still going down between Whalers and Diabolic. Diabolic's able to win it. He'll get the final couple of seconds, as now we'll hop back to the first hard point. Cluster out, backs up one player, splits him up. He's actually able to get the kill behind it and snap behind the second. So nice job at the opening hard point once again from Denial, at least with that first wave.
I don't know if Diabolic thought that player was on streaks at the old hill or what, but I mean, if you're Denial, you'll die towards the end of the hill anytime, and now you set up for this one. They've held off the first push. Now it's Whalers with the Annihilator. That's 3. Can he find the 4th? Just misses General. He's 100 off his streaks. Just needs to connect with one more shot. The bait and the switch come through. Great teamwork out of Enigma6, but you're down 70 points.
Well, even when I was talking about that one-on-one, I think when it was set up for that, it was like there was like 15 seconds left, which I get if you want to fight for 15 seconds, okay? But by the time he actually got into contesting, there was like 5 seconds left, exactly. Like, just leave then. If you're gonna wait that long, just get out of there. The lead continues to grow for Denial. No lead safe here, but it's looking good.
I think the best thing for Enigma6 right now is there's no streaks on the side of Denial. They were very close with Whalers with that Annihilator. The comeback's still very possible. And they're able to break on the courtyard. 40 seconds left. Can they set up that transition from 2 to 3? That's usually where things get a little bit crazy. Denial going for one more push towards the back. Kismet going all the way around. He's going to find good timing. He's going to find one. Finds the second. That's 3 dead. Denial should spawn out, and they will. But let's flip to number 5. Yep, Frosty's going to be cutting this off.
This is basically exactly the opposite of what we saw the first time through. He's going to try to get the whole way to the back after picking up
out.
one.
This is what you want if you're E6.
Backs one up and gets to a power position here at back statue. He's trying to go all the way behind the stage. Just tucks away in a corner, and now Kismet comes through on the flank, so a bit of a pinch now. Frosty gets pushed, Kismet gets one on the other end, but Frosty has stayed up, the help is there, and E6 are in. A solid hold here, and you're good, and the streaks you talked about, Denial not being able to earn them, this is where you'd love to have something.
They don't even have many specialists. You have War Machine, Tempest, but it's tough to hit some shots around that fountain. Even if you get one down, how do you push on through? Probably say the War Machine for barrels up next. Cade trying to stay alive. There's the Breezy. Hey, Breezy's able to find 2, just grapples his way through the air.
Yeah, you
Kismet, though, on a flank once again. Has the help of Frosty, and Kismet just being so sneaky.
Yeah, I thought Breezy was going to be the distraction.
Wow.
Instead, he gets all the kills. So that 100-point lead for Denial, where did it go, Joe?
2 and 3. It's gone. Always with that transition.
General now 50 points off streaks. Tempest available.
And I think, did you hear the War Machine out of Zeet? You did. Zeet popped the War Machine, so that's out for them. Now can General hit one? He's got to be worried about the flank as well. He knows Zeke's over here. Just needs to connect with one player. They know the stun was in there, trying to hunt him down.
That was a great job just getting out. I thought he was going to get caught for sure.
And alive, and there's the hit. There's the streaks as well.
I can't, but General has done such a good job just staying alive in this scenario. He's survived 2 different stuns. The help is coming. There's the streaks. Everybody's on their knees, and Denial gets wiped out. Now down only 40 is Enigma6. as General goes off, but the rest of his team dies around him. Finally, he ends up dropping. But a good sequence there, staying up and really playing his life.
Yeah, he has those streaks for the next rotation. Not going to use any here, but what this allows him to do is, you can see, contest these last 15 seconds, but Nat, Shay, and Zeke able to clean them on up, and now we're going to have this rotation. I imagine you'll see a lightning strike here out of General. 3 seconds left on the last hill. Okay, so it's going to be drone squad. That's going to be called in first. It's going to help him get one. Kismet gets another. Zeke still alive on the hill. Doesn't have any help, and Enigma6 break on through.
They're still down big, though. They're not out of the woods yet. You have the streaks. You have some specialists to work with. You have a big advantage, though, because really you just have Grab Slam, right? Breezy tried to get fancy. I think he got caught. War Machine keeping him pushed back from Diabolic. Doesn't even matter if you get kills there. Just keep him at bay.
The best thing for Denial right now would be to try to get in this hill and force another streak. Frosty, I think he used that as well. So this is good for Denial. These 18 seconds. Does this force General to use a lightning strike? Never mind, General. He's going to use his gun barrel instead. Get on in. But every second counts when you're this close to winning map 4. The setup's here for Denial. Whalers, he's in a die-off rotation. But you do have Breezy with the Grab Slam. Lightning strike as well. Called on in, and that's probably the best thing for Denial. Actually, they might not know it, but Breezy was trying to use his Grab Slam, right? He was trying to set it up. So the fact that the lightning strike comes on in and he doesn't die or waste it, that's good for them. So at least he holds on to that.
Diabolic got both, but here comes the Grab Slam. Gets him in, but traded out almost instantly. They're contesting, not allowing Enigma6 to get much points on the board as they're still down 35, but Kismet's still here. A big one-on-one. He's got help in now, stunned through. Takes the gunfight, more points going to E6. All the way in the back, though, look at that number 8. It's already going to be Breezy, I believe, who's already set up deep, but there's a 2-on-1 now.
They're so alone.
As E6 is coming in.
Zeke is there,
Can Breezy do it?
Zeke was trying to hold down. Or sorry, Breezy was trying to hold on for Zeke. Now Zeke set up.
Oh my God, here we go.
But he's able to get the second. No! Big kill by Kane in the back. That would have flipped his spawns. Annihilator used by Kismet.
More streaks if he can hit a shot. If he can hit a shot, you've only got 2 left. There it is. Lightning now up. 5 points down. E6 making the late run on Seaside. Will it be another 100-point comeback? A Hellstorm available too. Frosty still playing in the back. All the kills going the way of Enigma6. But somehow Denial, they're still getting in. The pressure's through the front. Suddenly they're in the hard point. Streaks have to come in, and General picks up 3 with the Hellstorm.
Now E6 just 12 seconds away. You're going to call in a lightning strike out of Kismet. I don't think Denial can get in. They had to try to contest. Just 9 more seconds needed. Zeke and Whalers able to win gunfights, but now that you contest, you've lost the rotation of Barrel. Do they have any specialists? It's on Whalers. Whalers has to go huge with the Annihilator to make the play. I just don't know if they'll have time. They need to get in with 4 seconds, and he goes down.
He goes down, and E6 pull off another big comeback on Seaside. We're going to see 50 of them this year. Another one in the books. Never, ever count a team out.
This is a different map if Whalers gets those streaks. You look back at that second rotation, Hill 1. When he has that Annihilator out, he gets 3. If he gets 1 more kill, I think this map goes in favor of Denial. Instead, streaks are earned on the other side, starting with General.
What a crazy map and a wild series, but it results in E6 getting the victory. So it's day 1 of Division B. Heretics and E6 get the final laugh. And, well, I mean, I don't know. I'm just excited to see the rest of the teams. Like,
yeah, I think there's a lot of people who want to watch.
In.
You know, 100 Thieves with, you know, with Priesta, Splice. What form are they in?
Yeah.
Accelerate. Can they cause some upsets? There's a lot of teams that we're going to be seeing tomorrow for their first match.
Because I think you can just, I mean, basically just toss Vegas out the window at this point. It's been 2 months. The PLQ is way in the rearview mirror now. Like, who's going to show up? I have no idea. And I know Division A was wild. I'm excited for some craziness here.
Well, we'll have.
I just love Call of Duty, Joe.
We'll have this craziness, and then, well, we'll be playing with a new update next week, so that'll be more craziness.
Yes, Joe.
Yeah, baby.
Woo! Let's get to Katie.
Oh, yeah, see ya.
Yeah, see you later.
Thank you so much, gentlemen. And there we have it, Enigma6 managing to pull it out, but Pack, that map 3 where it really felt like Enigma6 just kind of gave that away.
Oh, Joe said on the broadcast, they should have won that 3-0 for sure. They just didn't close out when they needed to. And credit to Denial for taking advantage of E6's mistakes and coming back in that map and winning that map.
What were your thoughts on the chance that Denial had there to maybe sneak in and take that back and actually winning the whole thing if they got that map 3?
Yeah, I mean, in game 4, when they started off really hot, I thought that they were going to be able to, close that one out. Obviously, Seaside, you can always make a crazy comeback and win the game, which
I feel like I expect those comebacks to happen more often than not now.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely, right? It comes down to really the statue hill and then, well, on rotation that, because you can get pretty much a 60-point there. So if you're able to lock down Courtyard and then rotate the statue as well and hold that, you can pretty much dominate. And that's how we saw E6 close the game out. But, on that game 4, Denial had an amazing start off. They had a huge lead. E6 was pretty much playing catch-up the whole game. They were, using their specialists correctly. It just came down to those streaks at the very end that E6 just used so well.
And Steady, I know that you've been wanting to talk about this control.
Yeah. Just came down to a certain couple of plays where it's just like the specialist usage was absolutely atrocious on both sides of the game, because that Denial started up, I'm pretty sure it was 2-0, and then they eventually came back, whatever, and they were just fighting back and forth. But when you have a life advantage in certain situations and you decide to like single push, like situations like this right here, D-Bok. I'm pretty sure, wait, is this the round? Whalers, yeah, this is it. Whalers pulls out his Annihilator in a 1v5. Why is that even remotely in play? You tell me. I was at a complete loss for words here. I don't know who this guy think he was right here in a 1v5.
Thought he was Punisher going in.
1v5.
Punisher taking everybody out. But obviously,
it just didn't make sense.
It's not going to work. But yeah, we saw a little bit better specialist usage towards the end of that game on the side of Denial. The grab spike came in with the big 2-piece, which was huge. And then they also were able to shut down all E6 specialists as well. Like on one of their offenses, they decided to 5-hit that A side of the map, U side, and they get control. They win the trade process, and they get A right away. And then from then on out, I think they had a Tempest to use, which Risk used, and he got a bunch of kills with it. And they shut down the Annihilator right away. I believe they shut down the War Machine as well. So they did a really good job of communicating and knowing when those specialists were going to be out and being able to shut those down. And that was actually very well played out of Denial.